Here we are at Pueblo Benito in Chaco Canyon. Mokiva over here looks like a hot tub. Here, I'll go ahead and stand up. The energy from the ground that they're tapping right into here. Here we are at Pueblo Benito in Chaco Canyon. This is a bucket list item for me. I'm absolutely ecstatic to be here. Now, these sites here, and this is, one of the oldest, one of the largest, going back to 850 AD. One of the great kivas is here. We'll go check that out in a little bit. But this was a spiritual center for the Anasazi, which were known as the Ancient Ones, which are believed to be the descendants of the Hopi. And while these sites here date back to 850 AD, that culture goes back even further. We really don't know where they began. This very, very mysterious culture. We don't know why they came here and built these out in the middle of nowhere, and we don't even know why they left. So many mysteries still going on as to what exactly they were used for. Of course, believe they were used as a spiritual center. It's aligned to the stars, so that tells you a lot right there. And while this is Haunted Road Media, so is this place haunted? It may be. We really don't know. There's a lot of investigating still to be done here. Of course, it's a spiritual center, so you would believe that that spiritual energy is still around here. And you have to think about this. Spiritual here, you have the energy from the ground that they're tapping right into here, and then astrally aligning to the stars above. So you have all three phases: above, below, and right here with you. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna investigate here. This is one of those fantastic ancient sites of America. I've been to the great earthworks back east, like Newark and Cahokia. Fantastic locations. This is amazing. I don't think what some people realize when they see the video footage and photos of these locations here at Chaco Canyon is these doorways are actually very, very small. Here, I'll go ahead and stand up. Kind of get an idea. You have to really bend down. So were they smaller? Was it just part of their construction system? Wasn't maybe even a something to do with reverence, like part of their worship system? As you go away and you have to bow down. I don't know. It makes you really wonder as to why that was, but we can only speculate now as to why it was constructed like this. Was it something that made them get closer to the earth and feel that energy here? We don't know. Now, you take an amazing room like this and you wonder what exactly it was used for. So on the ground you have this basin here. It's actually collecting water. So kind of obvious, maybe some sort of water collection system. Was it ceremonial use? What exactly was going on here? If the site was for ceremonial purposes, what was this room for? What was the function of this? And you look through the little park booklet, and they have a lot of great information about the location, the construction, and that. You even have a little marker here, but doesn't explain what this thing was used for. So it's another mystery of what this location actually was. The inset on the wall over here. What exactly is going on over here? Let's take a closer look at it. So you can see that the original construction actually goes lower. You can easily set, I don't know, some sort of idol here, some sort of artwork, some sort of item you're going to worship. We don't know. You got a water basin here, the two related, and remember this place is aligned to the stars. So it makes you wonder, the significance of this room had to have been very significant. The low manner in which you have to enter here, it's the shortest door I've seen yet. They have to bow down to enter here. You have this set into the wall. It could very easily be some sort of, idol or memorial object, and then you have this water collection basin down on the ground here. It really makes you wonder what exactly this room was used for. So throughout many of the structures there are these T-shaped doorways, and highly speculative as to what they're actually used for. Some believe that they were ceremonial, not practical, but they have these little sills, these little ledges here. Don't know if they're actually used for anything or if it was just, some people believe that they were used to mark a special location that you were entering. Again, we're speculating as to what these things were. Also, did these originate here, or did these type of doorways originate in Mexico? So many mysteries still here. All right, now this dark room over here. This is one of the remaining original intact rooms. They've plastered over the walls to, I guess, retain the original plaster underneath. It was getting graffitied on or what have you. So I don't know how you preserve original plaster by putting new plaster over it, because then it's a whole new layer. You'd only be able to have to remove the new to even see the old. Whatever. We're gonna go down into this hole. I don't have a flashlight. Alright, I put on the night vision because it is dark in here. But you can see these are supposed to be original wooden beams to the location. The original plaster is supposed to be back behind this plaster. So this is what a room looked like within Pueblo Benito back when it was actually being used. So this is kind of the idea. It does have a little window to the outside, and then this was the doorway inside. As to what the function of this little room was, we don't know. But there is the T-shaped door straight out there. All these mysteries abound. Okay, behind me and below me is one of the great four kivas here of Pueblo Benito. Now these were used obviously for ceremonial purposes. You can see the benches down there where people would have sat. They believe that maybe different idols or objects of worship were placed within the little alcoves there, and there's certainly a fire pit down in the middle there. So we don't know exactly what type of ceremonies were conducted here. That's still kind of a mystery. Some people think they're related to the kivas of today. We don't know. The ancient aliens guys think that this place was domed, while archaeologists believe that it had a wooden roof to it. So again, it's a lot of speculation. We really don't know, but a place like this, you can definitely feel the energy coming from there because of all that energy that was put into this location to begin with. You have to remember that during their ceremonies, they're creating a lot of energy here, and the walls here are going to retain a lot of that energy, even now, over 1,000 years later. So do I believe this site had anything to do with ancient aliens? It's a fantastic question because, of course, the television show did come out here. I was basically set up in a spot where Giorgio was back in, what was it, season 4? In any case, it's possible. The site is astrally aligned to the stars. They did study the stars. They did align this site to the stars. And of course, they talked about the star people when we go and we check out some of those petroglyphs. So there is something to the worship of something above. Now, whether or not those were aliens, extraterrestrials, we don't know. Of course, many people speculate that what we call the gods or the great spirits, whatever you want to call them, were actually extraterrestrials. We don't know this. These are things that we are investigating, and it's a fantastic mystery that we're trying to solve. We're gathering information. I will say this, it's very mysterious as to why they chose this location. It's way out here in the middle of nowhere. The winters get very harsh. It's extremely hot here during the summer. So there's only really certain times of year they really could have inhabited here to go ahead and perform their ceremonies and do their worship. Were they contacting something supernatural or extraterrestrial out here? Well, they were attempting to do that, weren't they? They were trying to at least contact what they thought were their gods or spirits, something to do with spirituality, something to do with the star people. So whether that was extraterrestrial or supernatural or spiritual, we don't know. But it's definitely mysterious. On the stone behind me are petroglyphs, and this is actually called Petroglyph Trail because all along the canyon walls here are a number of different petroglyphs, which is basically the ancient artwork from the Anasazi culture that had been here. It's left up to us to try to decipher what these things mean. You can see kind of the swirl shape behind us, and that is in a number of these different petroglyphs. So some things that they may be spirit portals, some think that they may represent the actual galaxies above, a lot of different things, spirit energy. But we actually see this swirl pattern in a lot of different ancient cultures, not just here, but all over the world, which makes you question again the tie-in of ancient cultures all across the globe, even though they are separated by thousands and thousands of miles across continents, but yet they still have some sort of apparent connection. Now, I'm gonna end it here with a view like this at night. Why wouldn't you set up a place of worship over here? This is just amazing. And there are so many weird and mysterious things out here. I think this one small kiva over here looks like a hot tub. I think it's an ancient hot tub, or at least a ceremonial bath, because you can see the pillars that they would have been sitting on. They look like little benches. And then there's a hole down the bottom where I know we're on a desert, but maybe they could have somehow irrigated water through there to fill it up as some sort of ceremonial bath. Do I know for sure if that's what it was? No, of course not. But that's what drives us. It's the whole what if.